So taking care of our mental health is more crucial than ever, but it can be hard to navigate it all on your own. Luckily, we're joined by an expert who helps people navigate through life's challenges every day. She's a psychologist who has had her own counseling practice for 20 years and specializes in getting to the root of people's trauma. So joining us now in studio, please welcome Dr. Lesley Goth.
Dr. Goth, thank you so much for being here. We love when people are here in person. Let's start with this. You specialize in EMDR therapy.
Yes.
First of all, explain that a little bit, because it's a treatment that even Prince Harry has opened up about undergoing.
Yeah, and I saw that interview with him when he did it, and it was wonderful. So EMDR stands for Eye Movement Desensitization Reprocessing. I tell my clients when I explain this to them, they don't need to remember what that is. It's a trauma therapy that helps us connect to the trauma so that you can actually process it. When we're in talk therapy, we're using the front of our brain, the logical, the wise part of our brain. We can't access where the trauma has kind of been stored after an event or several events have happened. That is stored in the amygdala, the trauma part of our brain. That's where we have fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So EMDR, which creates this eye movement, which is bilateral stimulation in your brain, unlocks the back of the brain, what we're targeting, your specific trauma. It brings it to the front of the brain so that you can process it and put it where it belongs. Wow. So just talking can't do that. You could spend years with someone in therapy talking about their trauma, talking about the same thing over and over. It still creates the same emotional charge in the body. But when you get to the back of the brain and can process it for real, then it removes the emotional charge, and you're done. Like
I have a handful of really close people in my life that have used this form of therapy,
yes.
and it life-altering for them.
Yeah, wow. Yes.
Life-altering.
It changed my practice completely.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yes.
But there's always skeptics, right?
Sure,
there's always
absolutely.
skeptics. Why do you think there's skeptics in this?
Sadly, I think there's a lot of therapists out there that have not been properly trained, and that's dangerous, right? I always put safety first. When you're working with trauma, you have to provide safety for the client, because trauma has been something that has stripped away their sense of safety and control. So numero uno, create safety for the client between you and the client. So a lot of therapists will, you know, with their first session with a client, just jump right into EMDR, and it re-traumatizes the client very often. They then leave the session, and it's still all up here, the stuff that they've been working on.
It's been brought up.
It's been brought up, and it's not known how to put back away so that the client can feel safe and feel what's called resourced, where they feel supported and back in control of themselves and can function in their daily life.
Yeah.
So if that is not done, you should not be doing EMDR therapy.
Yeah. Well, you actually began your career specializing in eating disorders.
Yes.
How did that lead to your work in EMDR?
So I myself struggled with an eating disorder growing up, and so I was very fascinated with this whole type of mental illness, and so I did a lot of my own studying with it, did my own, you know, when I was in graduate school, that's what I kind of dove into. So all my work working with clients had been with eating disorders, because I get it. I understand the mindset. Well, my clients that were coming in with eating disorders all had this underlying trauma that, again, we couldn't get to just by talking. So the eating disorder was simply a symptom of their trauma.
Right.
So I had to figure out, I had to get training, and that's when I got EMDR certified, so that I could get into the root of these issues and then help them clear out the trauma, which would then decrease their eating disorder behaviors.
Is this also tapping? I've done
so you
tapping
can like
work.
self-tap.
I've done that work.
That
Okay,
creates
that helps.
the bilateral stimulation. A lot of therapists will use a light bar. The light goes back and forth. You follow it. You can hold these little buzzers that buzz back and forth in your hands.
It gets the movement in.
It gets the movement. You can go for a walk, and it creates bilateral stimulation.
Let me ask you this about the walk, because that was my next question.
Yes.
There was a recent headline about mental health, and it said in a news survey, I want to get this right, 94% of respondents agreed that stepping just outside helps them relax when stressed or anxious.
Definitely.
The Japanese prescribe something called Shinrin Yoku, or forest bathing. What do you think about going outdoors and just that?
Do it. Like, you just have to go outside. I tell my clients who are highly stressed, 5 minutes in the sunshine, go for a walk around your block, take the dog out real fast, just 5 minutes, get outside, breathe in that fresh air, get some sunshine on your face, and it does wonders for your brain, your body, your nervous system, all of it.
Wow. And Dr. Goth, you are a wealth of knowledge. Did I hear you're in the process of writing a book?
I am.
Tell us about this.
Okay. Oh,
Congratulations.
That's exciting.
So back in October, I put out this TikTok video on sexual assault and what to kind of expect if you're going through sexual assault survival, the process. And it's gone crazy. And so people were contacting me, asking me a variety of questions because there's just so much shame involved with sexual assault and how to get past it. And it's the shame that keeps people so stuck in being able to move past it. So each one of these questions, I thought, gosh, this could be a great book. Each question could be its own chapter, and I can really give people hope. I can give them resources. I can give them a way to like walk through the process and know that there's a way to heal and get better.
Good for
Sense
you.
of safety. That's
Unbelievable. Dr. Goth, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. To our viewers, to learn more about Dr. Goth and her practice, go to denverfamilycounselingservices.com. Keep an eye and an ear out for her book, right?
Yes.
In the near future.
Yes.
Thank you again.